Hello everyone! How are you guys? As promised, I've brought my husband, Cody, on here with me. And we want to say and wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day, because that is probably when this video will be posted, will be Valentine's Day. And since Valentine's Day and love and everything is all about February and stuff, we are going to share our love story and how we met and fell in love. So we're really nervous. This is so awkward doing it together.
It's awkward for me. I don't do this stuff.
So it's like, he's Mr. Straight Face. Okay, so do you want to start? How we met?
So I actually served a mission in Australia, and when I got back, my best friend's dad had met Kylie, I don't know where, at church or at a game or something.
So, okay, so rewind a little bit. So his best friend's dad was good friends with like a girl that I went to school with, and she was like a friend of mine. So we had like mutual friends, and he was a very good family friend of theirs, and she played volleyball with me. And so like whenever we were going to state and all of that stuff, he came to support her because obviously like he's a good family friend of theirs. And so that was kind of how he knew who I was. I had never like officially met him, but he knew who I was. So, okay, go.
So I get home and I'm talking to him, and he says that he met this girl that he thinks I would like and that he wanted to hook me up, and told me her name, and he might have got her phone number for me somehow through his friend. And so I was actually trying to play basketball where she was playing volleyball in Utah, and so I thought that'd be a good excuse to call her and just ask her about the school. I can't remember exactly what happened, but I know it didn't go good at all. I don't remember exactly what happened.
Okay.
But
what happened was he called me. I knew to expect a call from him. And first of all, let me just explain that my parents moved me to Idaho going into my junior year of high school. So that's hard to do as a junior in high school. I mean, that's pretty much the end of the world at that age. And so I had like a very bitter taste in my mouth for Idaho. Like the minute I graduated from high school, I was down back in Texas. And I spent the summer with my friends, and then I went to Utah and I was playing volleyball, and I just didn't spend a lot of time in Idaho other than like coming back to visit family. And so when my mom asked if it would be okay to give my number to Ken to give to Cody, at first I said no. And they ended up kind of pursuing it a little bit more, and then Ken ended up calling me personally, and I couldn't say no to him because, I mean, it's just not respectful. And so I gave him my number for Cody, and I just said, okay, I will go ahead and give my number to this kid, and, you know, I'll tell him about the school, you know, and all that kind of stuff. That was like, honestly, like me as an immature, like 18-year-old, that was like what I was thinking, was just, I'm gonna just blow him off and everything. And so I knew to expect a call from an Idaho number. And oh, and let me add one more thing. I did not date kids from Idaho. Like, if I found out that they were from Idaho, I said no to the dates. That makes me sound terrible, and so, like, yes, it does. It makes me sound really shallow and terrible, but it's true. I didn't date anybody from Idaho whenever I was down in Utah, and I knew for sure that I did not want to marry anybody from Idaho because I did not want to end up in Idaho. And so,
Idaho's the best state.
So anyway, whenever I get this call, I missed this call because I was doing a team workout, and but I knew to expect a call from a 208 number. Idaho 208. And so anyway, I have a missed call on my phone, and so I call it back, and I'm standing right next to my best friend Chris, and I had been telling her the whole situation. She knew what was going on. She knew I was kind of dreading the call. And so anyway, like I called his number back, and you know, he's hello, answers, hello, how's it going, or whatever. And I was just like, oh, hi, you know, who is this? And he was just like, well, who's this? And I'm like, well, this is Kylie. You know, I have a missed call from this number. And so I just, I'm calling you back. And he's just like, oh, wrong number, click. And he hung up on me. He hung up on me. And so, anyway, I remember, like, this was my face on the phone. I'm sitting there, and I look at my friend Chris with, like, these huge eyes, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that kid just hung up on me. And I just told her, I was like, this right here is exactly why you don't date kids from Idaho. Like, this is Idaho. And she laughed, and we laughed about it and stuff, and we went on and, went home and did everything. And then I get a call like a week later from the exact same number. And it was Cody. And we ended up talking a little bit about, school and all that kind of stuff. He was looking to play basketball where I was playing volleyball, like he said. And so, anyway, we talked for, like 20 minutes? Maybe?
If that,
yeah, like 20 minutes on the phone. It was funny because I was actually out with a bunch of friends for like a class thing, like project thing that we had to do. We had to go to like this orchestra thing. And so I was like in the back of the car, like talking to him on the phone, and we talked, and we were supposed to like meet up. I was supposed to show him around campus and stuff, but it just never ended up happening. We never were able to get our schedules to like mesh together. I was always dating other people, and when he would call, it was just bad timing because it'd be like last minute or something, and I already had a date, or I was babysitting, or doing that kind of stuff. So we actually never got together that year, and that was in 2006. And no, it was 2005, because it was like,
yeah, it was 2005.
2005. He got home in 2005, and so so we always like knew about each other. And you had already seen pictures of me, right? Like you kind of knew, like you knew what I looked like because of like mutual friends, and stuff. I had no idea what to expect. Yeah, so we didn't end up meeting until the summer of 2007.
Yeah, so the phone call didn't go good.
Yeah.
Kind of just bagged it because I didn't do good. I got to be prepared. So when she called me back, I wasn't prepared, so I just had to hang up. That's why this is really hard to do. But yeah, so it just kind of bagged that because I thought I blew it. And then like a year and a half later, my best friend, whose dad tried to hook me up with her before, called me and said he was going on a rafting trip with a bunch of people up in the Salmon River in Idaho. And he said Kylie might be going, and he asked if I wanted to go, and I was like, sure, I'll go. And so that's where we met. That's the first time I saw her in person, was in McCall, Idaho.
Yes.
And she was on a date with a guy.
I was not on a date with a guy.
Well, she went.
I
went
rode
with
up
a guy
with a guy. I was
to
not
the
on a
rafting
date.
thing.
So, yes, it was actually like we were LDS, and so it was like a young single adults activity, and so there were, how many people went on that trip? Probably like 100. No.
There's probably 30 people.
No, I'm not that off, am I?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm off. So there were like 30 people. And yeah, so I mean we all rode up in like different groups and stuff, and so I rode up with a kid that he was a really nice kid. But anyway, we ended up like we rode up together with him, and he rode up with a girlfriend of mine whose dad is the one that got my number in the first place. And funny part is, she had a huge thing for him, for Cody, and so she had kind of warned all of us girls to stay away from him. He didn't get the memo because it was kind of like anytime that we tried to move away from him, him and Shane just kind of like wandered around us. Like they ended up right next
I'm a stalker,
to us.
that's how I do
I know.
From Idaho, I'm a hunter, I know how to stalk. So
Yeah. So anyway, like everywhere that I kind of went, I would just notice like, within like a few minutes, him and his buddy would be kind of like around in that same area, and he would come over and he'd start talking to me, and and I was kind of, I mean, like I was nice to him and stuff, but like at the same time I didn't want to deal with like getting anybody upset, especially on this like small trip and stuff, and so I just was kind of like a little bit standoffish because I'm like, well, like I I really don't want to make anybody else mad and everything. And so he ended up just kind of kept pursuing a little bit, and
And she went home with us.
yeah, and so I ended up riding home with them.
So it worked out pretty good.
From the rafting trip. And yeah, so that was kind of how we first met, and he wanted to take me out, and I remember
It was about a week later, I think.
yeah, it was like a week later. So our first date, we went to P.F. Chang's, and then we went over to his house and we watched The Last of the Mohicans.
Good movie.
That's been the only
She's never seen it since then.
Ever watched the movie. And it was nice because I mean we ended up like holding hands and stuff that night, which is like crazy for me because I wasn't like that. And I was totally one of those girls too. I was brought up very old fashioned. Like I don't call guys, I didn't text them first, you know, like I mean if they wanted to pursue me then they could, you know, kind of like pursue that, and then like if it was a mutual thing then we could, you know, make that happen. But it was just kind of like for me, I wasn't the type of girl that like chased after guys. And so I remember one of the first times that I text Cody first, and it was like we had been kind of dating for like I don't know, like a couple months, probably like two or 3 months. And I ended up texting him first, and he just was like shocked by it. He's like, "Oh my gosh, you just made my day." And it was really cute. Like I loved it. And so I don't know. It was just whenever we went on our first date originally, I didn't think, before going on that date, I didn't think anything was really going to happen with it. Like I knew I was attracted to him, obviously, like he's very attractive and he was cute, but at the time I was very young and I didn't want to pursue relationships. I wanted to have fun and go to school and date and just, you know, do my own thing. And so whenever he picked me up though, I mean, it was like literally like I was hooked after the first date. I don't know.
I had really long hair with curls.
Yes, that's where our daughter gets her curls. Is from him. He's got like.
That's what got her.
Yes,
the curls.
The curls.
But after our first date, we saw each other every day for I don't know, a week, and then I had to go on a family trip for a little bit. But.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. So we saw each other, and it was funny because he was getting like advice from his buddies. They were all telling him, they're like, okay, you can take her out, and then don't take her out for like 2 or 3 days and stuff. And it was just kind of, we ended up going out like every single day. And, you know, doing something. It wasn't always like super fancy dates or anything. We would just go and like hang out and have fun. And then you went on your family trip, and you said you missed me. Did you miss me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit.
He had fun in the mountains. So,
then we dated for
7.5 months, and he popped the question, which is actually like perfect for this timing too, because we kind of lived apart for some of our relationship. He was down in Utah and I was in Idaho going to school, and he was down in Utah working, and so we didn't get to spend Valentine's Day together because I think, weren't you in Arizona on like for a job or something?
Yeah.
So he was in Arizona for Valentine's Day, and so the week after Valentine's Day, it was actually February 21st, was when we went out, and that was kind of our Valentine's Day, and that's when he proposed. So he's like, Mr. Sly. In McCall, where we first met. Yes, he went all out. There's like candles and rose petals, and he made like a little video. It was really cute. So, yes. So we got engaged after 7.5 months, and then we got married like 5 months later. Yeah. So, yeah, it might sound really fast to some people, but I mean, I knew it was crazy. Like as soon as our first date, I knew that there was something completely different about Cody. I felt completely safe and myself with him. I didn't feel like I needed to try to be anybody else or do anything different to, you know, keep him or get his attention. It was just kind of like, I don't know, I felt like very safe with him, and so I knew
I have a lot of guns, so that's part of the reason.
Oh. So when did you know that you loved me? He actually said I love you first too. So
Yeah, I did, and then she said she didn't love me. So
I did not. No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
I did not. Okay, first of all, so...
But I knew right away. I knew. When I met her in McCall, I knew she was different.
But he did. He said that I love you. He said I love you first. Me, personally, I had never said that to anyone other than family members, and I had like made a promise to myself at a young age that I would never say that to anyone except the person that I was going to marry. You know, and unless I 100% completely meant it. And so for me, I wouldn't say I love you back until I was completely
right
sure.
Before our wedding day was the first time.
No, it was not. Oh my goodness, no. No, it took me a few weeks after he said it, and then I said it back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then I've never taken it back since. Yep. So, yeah. And I'm still crazy about him, and here we are. We're going to be celebrating our 9-year anniversary this July. We've got 2 beautiful babies, 3 angel babies, and...
a dog.
A dog, yes. Our crazy dog. And we've moved from state to state. We've been all over the place. And yeah, that's kind of our story, our love story. So
it's a good one.
That's how we met. And this is Cody, my cute husband. So if you guys want to see him more, then give us a thumbs up and make sure to like this and comment down below and let me know.
You don't want to see me more.
Because I will,
I'm not good at this.
I will bring him on more. This cute little red-faced boy. He's so nervous. He's like getting red. So anyway, yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.
See ya.